Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on the Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, sunshine. Happy Monday to you all, the start of a new week. Listen, I'm sorry I'm late. I woke up with an obsession with the idea of cleaning my place top to bottom. So that's exactly what I spent my morning doing. Then I went and I washed my hair, and it took me forever to get it dry. Then I had lunch and I made myself a nice chai latte. While watching last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. It was a really, really good episode. Stacey, listen, I know we love Stacey and everything, but like, can we finally admit that she's a little bit kooky? If everybody around has exposed her several lies, the camera has exposed her several lies, we can admit that she's a liar and that it's a little bit strange that she's constantly lying, So I want to get into that and more with you guys. But real quick, how was you guys' weekend? What did you get into? Yesterday, we went Christmas tree shopping at a store called Le Truffaut. Found a beautiful tree, put it up, decorated it, all the fun stuff. Saturday, it was just like a chill day, like board games, stuff like that. And so I'm looking forward to a fun and dynamic week. I have a friend coming over to my place. I don't have it here, but I have a friend coming over to my place, and I'm really excited because when I was in Morocco, specifically Marrakesh, back in 2018, I had got this like beautiful teapot from there. And I love to make like Moroccan tea, so you get the loose gunpowder tea, you mix it with like the sugar, the mint, all that stuff. So I'm really excited to have her over for that this evening. So it's a good day ahead. I'm really excited about it. So it's so nice to have y'all here. Good morning to my girl Tyrell. I'm happy you're able to be back with us. Thank you to Brittany for becoming a channel member. Nice to see you. And good morning to Jamie as well. Listen, it was all about Christmas for me this weekend, and I love me some Christmas. So I would say overall it was a good weekend. Jamie, what about you? Good morning, Gala, Tamara as well, JJ, Kelly. Good morning to Amelia. So sorry I'm late, you guys. Ashley, I'm really excited to get into today's story with y'all. I see we've got East Awesome. I just know that East Awesome's got a lot to say, hopefully about Cookie. Because listen, Cookie sounds absolutely like nuts and thirsty, right? Like she was doing too much when it came to Stacey. I do not know why she thinks she's Chris Samuels' BFF and why she's got so much venom towards Stacey. Like it is really, really, really strange to me, but I digress. I see already you guys have a lot to say about the show. East Awesome has a poll for you guys. Stacey's versus Tia. Who won in that match between the two of them? And then we'll get into Stacey versus Kierna, Angel versus this MFing job. Seriously, why is Angel on this show? The fact that Angel is still, and Two Snap says that Angel is the worst housewife of all time. The fact that she's still talking about this like fight from like 5 episodes ago that everybody else like forgot about. I'm like, Angel, girl, keep up. Like we're so over this. Keep up. What is this? Like she's so, and listen, my Canadian girlies will know this word, mesquine. She's so mesquine. It's like, girl, you bless your heart. Like you cannot keep up with these ladies. Anyway, why don't we get into our recap for The Real Housewives of Potomac, shall we? Listen, speaking of mesquine and flops and whatnot, can we get into how hard Kay flopped when she tried to bring up the fact that Stacey may or may not have gone out on a date with Chris Samuels? She tried to bring it up in her first meeting with Monique, and it's really weird. It's like, girl, you don't even know Monique for you to be passing this information along. And this would have been a lot better if you had like a sit-down conversation, tried to get to know her, give her the heads up or something like that. But for you to try to put it out there in front of everybody as if you're trying to haze Stacey or humiliate Stacey for going on a date, which is something that most adults do. And Monique was very quick in shutting it down, saying, listen, we have been separated for 2 years. I do expect for my ex-husband to date other people. I do not care, so that was funny for her to flop. And it's disappointing though, because I really did want Kay to be on this show. I don't know if I wanted her in a housewife capacity, but I really rooted for her and everything, but she is not delivering. She's doing too much. And the impact is way too little. And, again, this all haze Stacey this season of the show storyline situation is just so beyond annoying. And it's just weird. All of these girls are just being so rude and so nasty to this woman. And it feels like we're watching like one massive like bullying campaign, and it's gross. Listen, I know Stacey is a liar and everything, and that's something that's really turning me off from her. But I have to root for her just because these girls are being so nasty and bullyish towards her that it's gross. I do not want to see 3, 4, 5 women pick apart one particular woman for every little thing she's done every single episode. It's weird, it's obsessive, and it's just not landing the way that these girls wanted for it to land. And I wish that they would give it up already. Like, who really cares? She really just got here. This is only her second season. Why are we already so obsessed with her? Like, this is an OG that we all need to bring down a peg or something like that. It's weird. Unfortunately, Kahara hasn't been able to watch it yet because Peacock hasn't uploaded it. I'm sorry, Kahara. This episode of The Morning Report is exclusively about last night's episode of the show. So sorry in advance for all of the spoilers. Jamie, I love your new photo, by the way. Poor Stacey. I swear they all love to pick on her, don't they? Like, and it's so weird. Yes, I know she's a liar. I know. But we don't need to just be doing this to her every single episode. It's so off-putting, and it's making me like have to root for this pathological liar. And I hate that for myself. I really, really do. Hey, Boo. She says, good morning, Grace and co-reporters. What a way to kick off this short work week. Yes, with the Real Housewives of Penitentiary recap. You know what? We better make that nickname stick, okay? So welcome to the Real Housewives of the Penitentiary recap. Too funny. I love it. Listen, all those convicts on here, let's get into it, right? And I'm sorry, Tyrell. I'm so sorry. I'm bailing my son-in-law out of jail. Oh my God. Well, listen, I hope he pays you back, because that sounds like a lot to have on your shoulders for somebody else, Tyrell. East Austin says, although I like Stacey, I would be very annoyed if I had a coworker that kept lying on camera and contradicting what she said to me in private. Stacey and these unnecessary lies will get tired as hell. And I agree. Listen, I'm actually low-key wondering if Stacey has some sort of like mental disorder or personality disorder, if she's playing this off as a character, because the way that she lies is really weird, right? Last season at the reunion, they exposed like 3, 4 lies. So they started off with the cannabis line. They got into her lying about Vivian. She's trying to convince us that Vivian was purposely trying to dress her like she dressed other people, but we know that she's the one who went back and wanted to get those dresses that the other girls were wearing and stuff. And then Wendy exposed her for saying F that B about Vivian. And first she denied it. Then she accepted that it was true. Like, it's just so much about that. And it's weird. And then in this episode, she and her husband said that they couldn't do the double date because the husband was flying out that day. And then later on, they say, okay, well, it's too soon for him. That's the reason we can't go. And he just only got back this morning from a trip. But earlier, she said that he was flying out that day and he would be gone for the week. So which is it? You really don't know what's up and down with her. And it's really worrisome. It's not normal to be lying like that, constantly. Latasha says, Stacey is upbeat. Unfortunately, some women don't like to be around positive women, so they try to find any negativity to hold on to. I definitely do think that plays a role in it for sure. And it's just weird. Like, leave her alone. You're making us root for her. Like, there's so much to go in on her for. But the way that they just go after everything constantly is just way too much. When he says Stacey is the Janelle of the Real Housewives, listen, with the lying, but nothing else. Thank God. Thank God. Imagine. Thank God. It's just the lying. By the way, speaking of the picking at Stacey campaign, so they're talking about how she named her cannabis line some Shayo, which is a Yoruba, which is a Nigerian tribe name. And then all of a sudden, here comes Angel, who has nothing to do with anything, being like, and what about a philanthropic component of your company, Stacey? Are you going to be doing charity? Girl, what? Like, What does that have to do with anything? Not every business that launches has to have a philanthropic component. And what does that have to do with you? Like, it's just so weird. And so I'm happy that Stacey just dismissed her. Like, girl, you were not getting a moment from me and my knockoff business, you know? And speaking of knockoff businesses, I did find it to be rather strange that Giselle had literally no idea that this supposed business that she runs with Ashley called GNA, that nobody knows what they do, she had no idea that they were sponsoring a float for gay pride. So your business partner takes money out of your supposed business to put towards publicity use or whatever else, and she doesn't talk to you about it. That is very, very strange. Like, they are never beating these fake business allegations, right? And so what is the point of the GNA float in the parade? What are they promoting? What is GNA at the end of the day? Like, it's great that they're giving money to Pride, and hopefully it's going to go towards charities that support LGBTQIA plus youth. But what's GNA? Like, what, you know what I mean? Like, for example, H&M would give money, and we know, okay, well, now I'll support H&M. It's a clothing brand. I'll buy my clothes there or something like that. But GNA, it's like, all right, well, I want to support GNA for taking part in Pride, but what is GNA, right? So anyway, after the Pride, all the ladies sit down in the restaurant to get some more information about Monique's marriage and why it ultimately wound up ending. And I was really proud of Monique for being so open about the breakdown of her marriage to Chris. And so basically, he was just a raging misogynist, right? He just wanted her to pop out these babies. He didn't want to do anything to romance her. He wanted her to give up the cookie, pun intended. And like, you know, he wasn't doing anything to make her want to, like, all this like weird stuff. He would only be nice to her when he was trying to get laid, like all this stuff. And she had just had enough of it at this point, right? And on top of that, he was ruining her birthdays, like big special holidays and whatnot. And she just remembered the last time that she screwed him. She's like, I feel like he only ever acts nice to me to get laid. And so let me go play into this. And so she bust that thing wide open. And then she said afterwards, he just rolled over, like, it, you know, like I wasn't even there, and I felt like a piece of me. And I was like, girl, that is kind of nasty, you know? And so she said the next morning I woke up and I told him, you will never enter me again. I said, you know what? 3 cheers for the dramatics, right? And so essentially that was the breakdown of the marriage. And listen, I have never seen Giselle so happy. One thing about our girl Misery is she loves to hear about the breakdown of a marriage. She said, listen, we're all gonna suffer. If I suffered in my marriage, we all have to suffer, right? And she just can't stop praising Monique for the woman she is today. Girl, you've seen her for 5 minutes for the first time in 5 years, after all the nasty things you said about her, you know, when you guys would hang out and whatnot for several years. Like, it's very strange that you never gave her a chance while she was married to this man and she was so nice to you. But now all of a sudden that she's divorced, doesn't have the 4 houses anymore, it's, wow, you're so refreshing. You're so lovely. You're so down to earth. This is a miserable person who, listen, there's a reason that she's best friends with Robin out of everybody in the group. Okay, let's just say that. Anyway, guys, give me a quick second. I have to turn the heating down because I am croaking in here. It is just way too much heating, and I feel like it's stripping the humidity out of the room, so I gotta turn it down. And I'll be right back. We have a word for some of our sponsors, and I'll be back with the rest of the recap and to read you guys' comments as well. The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Tired of learning languages in boring, frustrating ways? Try TalkPal. TalkPal is your personal AI language tutor. It teaches you languages in fun, engaging ways. It gives you real-time feedback, assesses your pronunciation, and the learning process is personalized just for you. Join millions of other learners and start your language learning journey today. And we are back. Thank you, you guys. Oh my goodness. That was driving me absolutely nuts since the beginning of the recap. I was like, why did I leave that on? Good morning, Shelby. Nice to see you, boo. And yes, Tyrell, thank you so much for hyping my videos. Listen, hypes, likes, comments, everything helps. So thank you so much. And you guys' live chats as well. So yes, thank y'all so much for being so engaged, in these lies, and to my playback posse as well. And Tyrell had also said women can be vindictive and seriously jealous. And exactly, that's how I feel about Giselle. Giselle hated the fact that this gorgeous, gorgeous brown skin girl was living her dream, a rich athlete husband, millionaire, multiple homes. Like her house looked like a spa. If you guys know Nordique Spa in the Ottawa, Chelsea region, like that's what Monique's house looked like, right? Like she was freaking jealous. Kelly says, I mean, they're all liars to some degree, but you're right, Grace, that Stacey almost seems to disassociate when she's lying. Exactly. She's scary. Like I'm trying to like her. Everybody's like loving her, rooting for her, but these lies are scary. To me, it's indicative of some sort of disorder, whether it's a mental disorder or a personality disorder. It's very, very scary the way that this lady just lies, and she'll never admit to lying or back down from these lies. And it's for no reason. There's really no reason for her to be telling all this stuff, right? So after the lunch discussion about the breakdown of Monique's marriage, we get a scene about the girls at brunch. Listen, one thing about the Housewives of Potomac is that they are known for being terrible at dressing, right? But I really feel as though all of those critiques have been taken to heart and they are stepping it up. Look at how they showed up to brunch, okay? Even Giselle looked good. This was a nice outfit. I think that Tia, I love her style. This is so chic. She was giving very rich as well. And Kiarna, she is beautiful. She is a Barbie doll. She truly, truly is. I loved her look the best. She looked stunning. And you know what? Ashley stepped it up too. But Kiarna really stole the show. Like that is a freaking beautiful woman. And the fact that she looks exactly like her mom, like, oh my God, like those two are absolutely stunning. They really, really are. So they go to this brunch, and per usual, all roads lead back to Stacey. This season is about being obsessed with Stacey Rush. Oh, and she's a newbie. Why give so much importance to a newbie? Like she's going to come for you guys as champagne floats. Listen, they might replace Kiarna, like they might replace Ashley, something like that eventually, right? Not with Stacey, because they already have a flute simultaneously to her, but the amount of importance they're giving to her, they make her an indispensable character on the show while drowning out their own storylines, making them thus replaceable, right? So they really need to be careful with their obsession with this lady. And can somebody help me understand why exactly it is that Kiarna has beef with Stacey? If anything, I was hoping that they'd be friends. They're both newbies. They're both absolutely gorgeous. Like they really could bring the house down together. In addition to Wendy, this is what I don't like. These girls are all so dumb in the Real Housewives of Potomac, right? They are always vying for Giselle's approval. Whoever Giselle dislikes one season, they're all going to go after. I'm sorry, but who the hell is Giselle? Like Giselle is not the girl. She's not the girl she's so convinced that she is. I'm sorry. Like there's nothing enviable about Giselle or her life. Yet somehow she has all of these girls in a tizzy and she is running things as if she's the HBIC when she really truly is not. So that's why all these girls are so obsessed with hating Stacey, because Giselle hates Stacey, which means Ashley has to hate Stacey, which means Kiarna has to hate Stacey, which means everybody has to hate Stacey. When Kiarna should be in an alliance with Wendy, with Stacey as well, right? And I feel like Tia too, but so far Tia has been towing the line and she's been really friendly towards Stacey. I haven't seen her throw any low blows towards Stacey the way that the other girls have. So I was quite shocked when I saw this episode that things kind of went left, but I do understand why she ultimately wound up jumping ship, which is something that we'll get into later on in the recap. But for now, we're going to go back to this brunch where all of the ladies showed up in their Sunday's best, right? So Kiarna in particular has a bone to pick with Stacey, and she says that Cookie told her that Chris Samuels called her distressed about Monique accusing him of treating her like a piece of meat. And Cookie said that Chris Samuels told her that Stacey told him everything that Monique told them at that lunch after Pride. I find Cookie to be so thirsty. I really do. I wonder if she's really as close to Chris Samuels as she wants to portray that she is. She gives me hanger-on vibes, like very thirsty for the limelight. Do you know that scene that they keep playing back where Ashley's like, oh, I heard that Stacey went on a date with Chris Samuels. So Cookie's like, say what? Like, girl, who are you? Like, you're so dramatic for no reason. Like, who are you, right? I don't know. And if you're really that close to Chris Samuels, wouldn't you have known that Stacey went on a date with him? So it does make me wonder why all of a sudden, if he didn't tell her that he went on a date with Stacey, why is he suddenly gossiping to her about Stacey? Something about that just seems a little bit off to me, but I digress. Let me take a pause to get into you guys' live comments to see where you're at so far in this episode and in this recap as well. Okay. Boom. Busy Blue. Busy Blue. Nice to see you. I love Stacey and her lies. Listen, I'm trying, but she's getting scary. I used to, but she's getting scary, especially after that whole my husband can't come to dinner because he's flying out in the afternoon. And then it's oh no, he came back in the afternoon. What? They're so weird. She's so weird, but I have to like her versus the other girls because the girls are bullying her. They really, really are. And I can't ride with that. Mary Judith says, I'm not going to be Team Stacey. I see a lot of Kenya on her. So I'm going to keep my good eye on her. Listen, I think you have to because she's already proven to be at least a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Latasha says, yeah, I don't think it's all that, Grace. I think it's just a character, God, this show. She's providing harmless entertainment. Listen, I hope so because it's scary otherwise. Maybe this is all just a role to her. She's method acting. It's fun and it's a game or something, but it's going to be hard for them to be able to warm up to her because listen, I think that naturally people are put off by pathological liars. It's very weird, right? So how do you speak to a known pathological liar and build a bond with them if you just know that all they do is lie? Aren't you scared that they're going to start spreading lies about you too? That's how I would feel about Stacey, to be honest with you guys. East Awesome says, Stacey reminds me of my lawyer cousin. He's not a bad person, but he pretends to be a conservative with his wife's entire family. They think he's a right-wing Republican. And he's kept up the lie for 10 years. Listen, maybe because in his job, maybe he argues a lot as a lawyer. So he's listen, not with my in-laws. I am playing the game. I'm going along to get along, right? Do you think that's what? But Stacey's lies put her in mess, though. So I don't does she like to fight? Is she the opposite of your lawyer cousin? Where he says, don't get me wrong. I enjoy Kenya's mess, but definitely would not be a blind fan to her. And I agree. Listen, I loved Kenya up until when she was pulling that chair up under Kim Fields. That's when things got really nasty and really ugly and really dark. And I was like, okay, girl, you're a little bit, disturbed. Jamie says, damn, I like they said they can't keep her name quiet. It's like they're amping her up. Exactly. They're fans. I really think that these girls are Stacey fans at the end of the day, because otherwise, why are they talking about her so much? Why are they so triggered by her? Mary Dita also says, all this to impress Giselle. I must laugh. They really are all auditioning to be Giselle's side Bob Jizzies. Exactly. And for what? What about Giselle in her life is enviable? I'm sorry, but quite literally nothing. Why are these girls so stuck on her? If anything, they should have been running behind Karen when Karen was on the show. But listen, Karen is going to be coming back at a certain point. We did get to see a mid-season trailer during BravoCon. And so she comes back. She does a sit down with Andy Cohen. And so I'm hoping that ushers her back in with the other ladies. And then we get to see at least a little bit of the dynamics shifting, because this is just too much. It's pathetic. All these girls are behaving in a manner that is incredibly, incredibly pathetic. Dee says, good morning, Grace. Good morning to you, Boo. It's nice to see you back on the live chat. You're right. Jizzy has nothing going on. She's not witty or clever like Stacey, and that's why she hates her. Exactly. She's been on the show for so long. Does she really have any epic reads? I cannot think of anything. And when people think of, what's the funniest thing Giselle's ever said or the most quotable, it's who's eating emo. Listen, that's funny, but it's nothing compared to what she should have in her repertoire as an OG, right? And as the supposed queen bee of the group. Hey, Ben, yes, she says, I think it's the catfish who told Chris what was said. We're calling her catfish now. That's killing me. That's funny. Angel. Lexi says the ladies have made Giselle HBIC of the group. Exactly. And it's just so embarrassing for them. Really? That's your HBIC? Look at the screen. This is your man. That's what you're standing beside? Okay. Come on now. Right? And Vanya also says, I think it was the catfish who told Chris what was said. She and her husband know Chris. Ooh, maybe they had him over for dinner. Who knows? I wouldn't be surprised. And don't forget, that's a good theory, by the way. Angel, how does she feel about Stacey? Have we seen her feelings about Stacey at play yet? Just to know, the likelihood of this. I'm very curious about this, Vanya. So Cookie, maybe she knew that and she decided to just pin Stacy because everything is Stacy's fault this season. Listen, I got a paper cut. Blame Stacy, everything, right? So we get to see a sit-down, not an interview, but a lunch sit-down between Monique and Wendy next. And I was really quite happy about this, right? Like, I do feel like Wendy went along with the crowd. Again, the girls, they fall to Giselle's knees, right? So Giselle hated Monique and wanted to ice her out. And so Wendy was new on the show, so she decided to go along with the plan and to be really harsh towards Monique. And of course, Monique did, deliver a beatdown, an epic beatdown on her friend Candace. So maybe that played into it too. But all the girls had to hate Monique, right? And so the two of them, they just had to catch up over lunch and whatnot. And I was quite happy to see that go down between the two of them. And so what do they tell her? Oh, so Wendy actually tells Monique that she likes Stacy and is tired of the girls ganging up on her. So I'm happy to hear this. And I hope it means that Wendy's going to be more vocal about that because, okay, it's nice to feel that way. However, you're not doing enough to voice that and to stop the ganging up, right? So it's going to be nice to hopefully see her do just that. Monique, however, is like, isn't this the same girl who's copying you in your business? Like, like it's nice that you appreciate her and whatnot. Like, I guess she's a nice enough person, but be careful. This girl might, continue to try to like copy you and like maybe she wants to be you or something like that, which I do think is good advice. Also, considering what it is that Stacy has done and how sneaky she was about it all and how much she lied about her cannabis situation as well. If I were Wendy, yeah, of course, I would be over the girls bullying her. However, at the same time, I would keep a good eye on her because she's not a trustworthy person. She is somebody who kind of covets your life and wants to copy your things and is not above lying to your face, right? So that's, again, listen, for the purposes of the show, Stacy, whatever, she's not a terrible person. However, she's definitely not somebody that I would have in my personal circle at all. At all. She would give me the creeps in real life, to be honest with you guys. Can I take a little bit of a pause here to appreciate the beauty of Monique Samuels? To me, this is the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman to ever grace the Real Housewives of Penitentiary screen. She is so stunning. She looks like a work of art here. She really, really does. I love everything about her look, her hair, her skin, her makeup. Everything is just glowing. She looks incredible. She really, really does. She is gorgeous. And, that triggered so many people, cough, 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 when she first came on the scene. And so it's nice to see her get that glow back, post-divorce and whatnot. She's not letting that keep her down. And I really, really do love that for her. I really, really do love that. So it's really beautiful. Two Snap says, maybe this is the role of her life. Stacy, that is. Listen, I hope it is. I really hope that's not her real personality. The lying part, because everything else is amazing. She's funny. She's witty. She's positive. She's bubbly. She doesn't let negativity and whatnot like weigh her down the way that Angel does. Can you imagine if they treated Angel the way that they treat Stacy? Angel got one little comment. And it was the truth. She's a freaking catfish. I looked at that photo for so long. I was like, is that really supposed to be Angel? And she claims it's a photo from like back in the day. No, that looks like a completely different person. I looked at her old photos pre-baby and everything. She didn't look like that. That's a completely different person, completely different nose, completely different everything. That bone structure, that is not Angel, right? And I think, was it rude for Giselle to say that in front of the whole table? Yeah. However, this is Giselle. Remember when she put out Candace's nose job in front of everybody just casually, right? Like that's just what she does. And that is part of the Housewives game, right? Anyway, I'm just saying, y'all, Angel is way, 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 or some of you guys are calling her catfish, is way, way, way too sensitive to be a housewife. And thanks to Snaps. If you guys are enjoying today's episode of the Morning Report, please don't hesitate to go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And Nadia, no, listen, you are just on time. We still have a lot more to go in this recap. Didi says, Jizzy is a confessional assassin. She has to wait until the show's done filming to think of her comebacks, right? And that's supposed to be the star of the show. Like she can't even think on her feet. She gets eviscerated every reunion. Please, she's a flop. She's a flop. She's a flop. And look at all of this love for Monique. Let me put that picture back up of our beautiful goddess. Listen, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. She truly is absolutely stunning. I'm actually quite excited to see like who she ends up with next. I don't see her being somebody who wants to date right now. However, with all of her beauty and all of her wealth, I think that she is going to pull a really, really, really hot, hot, hot man, especially because she doesn't need to listen. And I'm not saying she dated Chris for money, right? I am not saying that. However, now that money doesn't even have to be a factor at all, oh, she's going to be pulling a hot man with a six pack, something like that. She's going to be getting a hottie. She truly, truly is. So I'm really looking forward to seeing who she gets with next, y'all. I'm just saying. Two Snap says that picture of Angel was the woman she was talking about to Jazzy. Oh, really? So that, or are you joking? Listen, y'all, I'm gullible. You can't be pulling jokes like this. Mary Judah says, I saw an Angel interview with Claudia. She seems nice, but definitely she didn't know what she was signing up for and still doesn't get it. Exactly. Listen, maybe she should be on some kind of football wags because she thinks that's so important and remarkable to be married to an athlete. But it's just not working here on Potomac for her. Thank you for your services. You have been dismissed. Two Snaps, you got me good. I'm gullible, y'all. I'm really, really gullible. You got me good. Good morning, Kelly. Happy Monday, boo. Nice to see you. So let's talk about Timo or Tiemo, right? So we get to see Stacey's husband again. The first time we saw him was in a date or at a date that the two of them had at an Indian restaurant. By the way, you guys, my friend and I forgot to tell you, Friday night, we went out to this Indian restaurant that just opened up here in Paris in the 9th arrondissement. Write this down. If you ever come to Paris and you love Indian food too, it's called Mumbai. It was so good. It was so, so, so good. We got a bunch of like tapas. Then we got like a dinner like plate, a main dish to share as well. And the whole thing came up to 35 euros in total for us two girls. And she also had a drink. Yeah. And you eat so well. The place is so beautifully decorated. It's centrally located. And it's funny because I walked there and I smelt the masala. I smelt, what else did I smell? I smelled, I forgot what it was. Hang on. I wrote it down. I was like, oh my God, you smell like everything from up the street. Like I'm telling you, from the beginning of the block, you're already smelling those beautiful, heavenly spices, right? I was like, oh my God. And the chai, I was like, oh my God, I am in heaven. I am in heaven. It was so good. And I'm actually really excited to go back. It was so good. I have to go back to that Jamaican restaurant too. But listen, I got to stop talking about food. Let's get into TMO. Okay. So this is Stacey's on and off again husband. He's kind of funny because he doesn't look at the ladies in the eye. So he only met Tia, right? Mind you. And so he's watching his daughter do some swimming. Stacey's having a conversation with Tia, and the ladies are trying to involve him in the conversation. And like, he'll respond to them one word, one or two. Then he'll go back to looking at the daughter as they're like talking and trying to involve him in the convo. I said, you know what? Yeah, hell yeah. Don't be worried about nothing but me, and maybe our offspring. Don't be getting too involved with these ladies. Don't give them any ammunition. Because listen, y'all remember Candace's husband, Chris? He was a little too friendly. He was a little too comfortable, right? And that's how, and it's not his fault, but I think that opens up the door to getting yourself in these storylines and whatnot and mess with the ladies. And Timo wants nothing to do with it. And I think that his strategy is really, really smart. And so I was really happy for him when he was just not really engaging. Do I think Tia is as grimy as Giselle, that she would make up false allegations and try to drag their on and off again marriage or whatever? No, absolutely not. But at the same time, he doesn't know her and he's not taking his chances. And you know what? Quite frankly, I don't think he's interested at all in these conversations on the show, right? So he's just focusing on the daughter swimming. And I kind of love that for him. I'm just saying, right? What about you guys? How did you feel about that? Now, listen, Two Snap says he's handsome and aloof. He's just so freaking aloof, isn't he? And I love that. Listen, don't be too chummy with these girls. These are my friends, not yours. Be polite, but that's about it. Like, don't be like Chris, like, whoa, let's go chat over here in this room about my wife's show or whatever. Like, get your own job, get your own whatever to worry about, and leave this to the ladies, Kelly says, I love Angel. Kelly, I'm gullible, but not that gullible, Kelly. I am not falling for this. Nobody ever. No, you will not get me with that. That is hilarious, Kelly. Nadia, yes, it's in the 9th arrondissement of Paris, near Grand Boulevard. It's really, really good. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's halal or not, but it was so, so, so delicious. I'm pretty sure it most likely is. I feel like most restaurants here are. Um, Two Snap says, "What do you love about her, Kelly?" Listen, Kelly. I think Kelly is trolling me. I think she's trolling me. Mary Judah says, I agree with Kempire that every girl should get a second season. I see his point. Listen, I do think it's fair. I also do agree. We should give her a second season to see how it goes. But look at Kiarna. She's 2 seasons in and she's still flopping, right? But I would love to see either her or Kiarna replaced by Jazzy. I actually really do want for Jazzy to hold a flute. I think she's got this amazing, bubbly personality. I think her marriage is a little bit of a joke, and I'm excited to see how it continues to play out on the screen, you know, and I want to see like the girls continue to drag her for that man and his like outside babies and whatnot. I'm sorry, but that train wreck situation will make for a really, really good storyline. It's kind of like the story that keeps on giving, kind of like how Ashley's marriage was a joke. And it like, you know, it really made the show so engaging those first few seasons. Like something like that would be really, really fun. By the way, we've got a super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat, Destination Sunrise. Thank you. She says, I don't necessarily like Stacy, but I do appreciate her on the show. I think Tia will become unlikable because she seems to be falling in line with the girls and coming for Stacy for no real reason. Well, there you go. And, you know, I was kind of disappointed when Tia turned against her and was like screaming and whatnot. However, at the same time, that phone, listen, we'll get to it, but that phone call and stuff. Remember when, I have a photo here somewhere. Remember when Tia and Wendy and their husbands wound up doing that double date anyway. And then Tia was talking about how Stacy said that she was most comfortable bringing her husband around her. And then Wendy called Stacy because she was really upset by that and blah, blah. I think that's what kind of like soured Tia to Stacy. And she also started catching up with the lies too. Like, okay, well, why is Stacy lying that she doesn't know Chris Samuels? I know she knows Chris Samuels, even if she didn't like, you know, wasn't in a relationship with him. She knows him enough to be going on a date or two with him, right? And we already have that video proof of her saying she's gone on a couple of dates with him. So why is she randomly telling Tia she doesn't know him? Like, it's weird. Like, what are all these weird lies, you know? And then what happened? Oh yeah, then afterwards when Wendy calls her up, which was actually so hilarious that Wendy was triggered that Stacy wanted Tia to meet her husband first. She's like, let me call her up. We're like, why would she? Blah, blah. Stacy flipped and she goes, oh, well, you know what? Actually, Tia, I regret having you meet my husband, blah, blah. I should have had Wendy meet him. I'm closest to you, Wendy. Like, she's so weird, you know? And then on top of that, not me. Listen, I'm trying to like Stacy, right? Like maybe I'm a follower because I know everybody likes her. I'm trying to like her and trying to stay on her team. And I do actually like her. I think she's funny. I think she's positive and everything. But there was another thing that really turned Tia off, which is that Stacy acted like Tia bypassed her to ask her husband. She's like, you asked my husband. Girl, you don't have a husband. You're divorced. You're dating this man again. You're dating your ex-husband. Please, right? So she goes, you didn't ask us to go on the double date. You asked my husband. That's not true. They rolled back the tape. Stacy said, well, would you and your husband Tia said, would you and your husband like to do a double date with like Wendy and I and blah, blah. And then on top of that, we also got the clip of Stacy lying. Oh, like he's going to be flying out. Like he won't be back for another week. Now all of a sudden it's, he just got back from his trip. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm sorry. Listen, I'm trying to like, you know, ignore it all, but there's a lot of red flags surrounding Stacy that is driving Tia nuts. Snap says, I'm trying to find likable things. Is this about Angel? Because listen, my girl was trolling me. I just know it. Hey, Christy, that is a beautiful color on you. He acts like a real man, in my opinion. Yeah, like he's got a real job. You know, some of these other house husbands or whatever, like they're giving unemployed, you know, and no business of their own. Because listen, even if you're unemployed, maybe you have a business, maybe you're an entrepreneur. Some of them, they're just too involved. You know, are you Peter? Are you Patricia type vibes? You know, but this man, no, he's only worried about his on and off again wife, their kid, and his money. Like she says, he wants no parts of the show. Exactly. Right. So I wonder if the girls are going to use this against him to make it look like he doesn't like Stacy and them being back together isn't real. But at the same time, listen, with all the lies Stacy has told, are they really back together? Do you guys think that's true at least? Like what's real and what's fake with her? right? And yes, Nadia, at the end, she was screaming at Stacy. She said, I was so dumb to give you the benefit of the doubt. Everybody else told me you're a liar. Don't let the accent fool you. Don't mess with like that type of stuff, right? Ooh, Tia upset you last night. Christy, why? Listen, she was pissed. Like Stacy was playing in her face. Stacy was really, really playing in her face. She had to get her together, I think. So there you go, Kelly. I knew it. There you go. Stacy is Kelly's favorite housewife, not Angel. Mary says, I want to see how the girls do on their sophomore year. I don't want them to be swapping wives every season like RHOA. And I can agree with that as well. Give them 2 seasons, right? Kiarna, you're 2 seasons in and you're still a flop. Thank you for your services. You got to go. You got to go. Maybe you could be a friend of, so we can continue to follow this situationship with Greg, but you're not coming back with a flute next season. Right. And I actually think that Ashley needs to be on the chopping block too. She has not been bringing anything since Michael and her divorced. Just saying. Right. Now, can we get into Robin? As Kempire likes to say, regular Robin. I love when he says that. It's so funny. So let's get into Robin. Reasonably Shady podcast is officially celebrating 10 million downloads, which is massive. Congratulations to those two. On the accomplishment, right? And so they organized this party, or maybe Giselle was the one I don't know. But Robin doesn't want to show up because she's pissed about how things went down, how she got fired from the show. Robin, you lied your ass off. You covered up your roommate, sleeping with other women, having these text exchanges with other women, buying hotel rooms or renting hotel rooms or whatever for other women. You really treated us like we were stupid. You had to go, boo. You had one job, which was to open up about this. And all you said is, oh, no, I was expecting Karen to come and, bring this stuff onto the show. No, girl, it is your job to put that out there. And you didn't do it. And that's why you got fired, right? So for you to be sulking and whatnot, what you need to do is come back on the show like Charisse. Charisse got fired too, right? But Charisse still comes back every single season. The viewers are getting more and more familiar with her, right? And then maybe eventually they might bring her on as a housewife if she continues to perform as a friend of. So far, she's more so just taking a step back. She's not getting into the fray. She actually seems to judge them when they get into the mess and whatnot. But Robin, if you want your flute back, so that you can continue to support your roommate or whatever that man is to you, you need to come back. So for her to ghost Giselle the morning of their party, tell Giselle the morning of the party that she doesn't want to come anymore, that was pathetic. And that was peak Robin. Listen, she probably just didn't want to get up off that couch. And all the girls dragged her about that couch. They said, Robin, get off your couch, come to your party. 10 million downloads is a great thing. Come celebrate it, right? Like, that was just so lame. I'm sorry. That was typical goofy Robin. Goofy. You have your new spa, right? Doesn't she have this franchise or whatever that she launched? Come on this show. Let us know you're doing well, right? Maybe have Giselle come in, get some kind of, I don't know, neck treatment, a treatment at your spa. Maybe shave down Ashley's bunions at your spa. Put it out there so that people know that that's what you're doing. You should be using this platform, but you're sulking because you got fired. And damn well you deserved to get fired, girl. That was goofy of you. It was really, really goofy. Oh, Lord. A mess. A mess. Listen, Mary, I hope she's trolling. You know what? I'm inclined to believe that she's trolling. But she better be careful playing too much of a character. Snap says, off topic, but since you brought up RHOA, what do you think about Candy and Todd? Listen, I'm going to be doing a separate video about that. I'm sad for them. They went through so much. I was actually really surprised that they even made it to 11 years of marriage with all the hatred and vitriol towards their relationship, primarily from her mother, but then also the other housewives, the public and whatnot. So when I heard that they were divorcing, I wasn't surprised because I remember doing a story a couple months ago, I think over the summer, about how she took her ring off and blah, 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 all this stuff, right? Yeah, she's still with him, girl. She's still with him, Kelly. I'm not surprised, but I'm sad. I thought that they were doing so many good things together and whatnot, but then a lot of old videos of him and like comments that he made about um Portia in particular and like just other women and threesomes and stuff, like he grossed me out, to be honest with you. I hope Candy like is well. I hope that she finds somebody better. Because yeah, like some of those comments he was making during their marriage were a little bit side eye worthy. Latasha says, now why would regular Robin think it is someone else's responsibility? Exactly. Bring up her personal life. Meanwhile, she throws a fit anytime anyone brings up her personal life. Ashley used to bring up her personal life. Do you remember her? What is your issue with me? What is your, like, you don't like it. Then you pulled up to her, emu or kangaroo restaurant. You were trying to fight her, Robin, but now all of a sudden you want people to be spilling your tea. Make it make sense. And exactly, Kelly. Yes, do not forget that she had a paywall behind her tea. So you're being paid 6 figures on the Real Housewives of Potomac to spill your tea, but you decide to put it behind a little paywall instead on Patreon. Oh, you got to go, baby girl. You got to go. You got to go. You don't got to go home, but you got to get the heck out of here. Mary Duda says, Robin must be doing well to reject the extra roll paycheck. Listen, or maybe she's financially foolish. I hope she's doing well, but it must be tough being the only one really making money in that house. Or is Juan, because I remember Juan had these lawsuits and whatnot. Like, he got fired from a coaching gig. Did he get another coaching gig? Is that doing well now? Dee feels bad or sad about Candy and Todd too. Yeah, listen, I was really hoping for the best for them. And they have 2 young children and stuff. I really hated all the negative energy and vibes that were sent towards them from the very beginning, all because of money, it was really ugly. The way that her mom spoke to his mom and everything like that was just so nasty. It really, really was. But Candy should have done more to shut that down. You hold the purse strings to that lady, so you could have shut her down a long time ago. Kahar says, listen, I'm just trying to hook the girls up. I'm just trying to hook the girls up at Robin's spa. And I agree, Robin, you're not coming back. Thank God. I couldn't stand her. Y'all know she had that Eeyore energy to her. Like, she was really just there. Like, and Karen had her packed up every single time that she tried to come for her. It was too funny. All right. But, I think Mama Joyce wants to be the only person who gets to use or spend all of Candy's money. I think she just doesn't want her to be married at all because it threatens her access to Candy's money. Her mom grosses me out. I'm sorry. Good morning, Sky, my neighbor over there in the London, UK. Nice to see you, boo. Our weather is going to be so much better this week than it was last week. I'm so happy about that. By the way, you guys, it snowed in Paris this weekend. I think we woke up to snow on Sunday morning, so that was really funny. Kelly says, I think, I almost said Juan is officially unemployed. Womp, womp, womp. Well, Robin, maybe you should accept those RHOP checks. Jamie, I'm so jealous. Jamie got a big gulp cup. I'm jealous. Oh, apparently the Brooke actually spilled some tea on her channel that Robin might. Oh, God, I might have to block this. Are you kidding me? We don't need Robin back. Giselle was actually a little bit better, a little bit tolerable without Robin. We do not need Robin back. We really, really do not. Keep her away from us. Keep her away. I'm telling you, princess. That's the vibe she gives off. We do not. That's why all the girls are saying, and thank you, Chad. That's why all the girls are saying, get off your couch, come to your party, right? Where's he coaching now, Lexi? Listen, I'm trying to keep up with Juan and his lawsuits and his scandals and his side pieces. Speaking of scandals, you know who showed up to the reasonably shady launch or 10 million downloads party? Wale. I actually looked at him like he was a celebrity. I was like, oh my God, not Wale here. Listen, the fact that Ashley ditched this guy to go marry, not to go marry, but to go make out with like this old man, like she really needs to get some psychological help because, the guy who like kisses like a lizard or something like that, like Ashley, like this is a hot young man who is interested in you, who is doing everything to like court you, and you ditch him for that like, what was he, like 60-year-old or something like that? Like, and you're only like 30 years old, like you might have a psychological problem. So Wale comes in, he looks really, really good, dapper as usual, and he is You know who he looks like? My little brother here. I don't know why. Some people, and I think Star is another one of those people. We were talking about this once when she called in on video. Some people, like, they look like a lot of different people. I feel like my little brother looks like so many different people, and the people that I think he looks like look nothing alike. For some reason, he reminds me of a little brother. So he looks cool. He looks like all dapper and whatnot, right? And so he's wearing his grills, and Ashley's being so disrespectful, right? She and Kiana are like, wow, not him showing up with his grills, blah, blah. Like, he thinks he's so cool with his fake grills. And Ashley's like, wow, a grill, yuck, like so desperate for attention. Like, good thing I didn't date him or whatever, or I didn't like choose him in the end. And then the producers were like, is this you? Because earlier on in the same episode, Ashley is wearing her own gold grill. Why was she so rude to him about that? That was so weird. I'm sorry. It was really, really freaking weird. She was like calling him a clout chaser and stuff because he brought a bouquet of roses for Robin. But I'm like, why are you bringing a bouquet of roses for Robin? Do you really know Robin like that? Because you filmed Love Hotel with Giselle and Ashley. So if you're not going to be bringing the roses for trifling Ashley, right? Or gout chaser Ashley, maybe bring them for Giselle because you know Giselle. But this was and especially because, listen, you know Giselle, and this is Giselle's event. Like, how much do you know Robin? I did find that to be particularly strange. Just saying. What do y'all think about Wale and Ashley and everything? Dun, da, da, da. East Awesome says Wale is a legend. He really, really is. He like has a good I feel like he's got like a really, really good like charisma to him. He cleans up nice. He dresses nice. Like, you know, he's a handsome man. I really can see him continuing to be used for various like Bravo shows. So I really do hope that they keep him in the Bravo universe. I gotta say, I like him. I think he's a really cool guy. So a lot of you guys who didn't get to watch the episode were asking me about the confrontation between Tia and Stacy. Again, y'all, I was really, really disappointed about it. I really like Tia, and I'm really liking Stacy as well. And I wanted them to get along, right? However, I feel like Tia maybe she did too much too soon in regards to her beef with Stacy. I do wish that she allowed for that beef to slowly develop instead of being like, okay, well, you lied about this, so I'm going to scream at you in front of all the girls and whatnot. Like, you know, the episode began with an attack Stacy, like gang up and whatnot, right? When Kiana was trying to throw her under the bus for having gone on a date with Chris Samuels, you know, in front of all the girls and whatnot. And then it ended with attacking Stacy, and it was very, very ugly, right? I do think that Tia did have a valid bone to pick with her. However, I didn't love to see all the girls, you know, watching as Stacy's being screamed at and then them jumping in and everything, right? So per usual, I don't understand why Kiana has a hard-on for Stacy. It's giving Ashley's hard-on for Stacy. However, she starts yelling at her about some stuff. And listen, look at the Botox. Hang on, let me zoom in. You know what I need to get? I need to get one of those apps where I can like circle what I'm talking about. Y'all see that bump? That is a Botox injection. Her face could barely move as she's screaming at Stacy. She had just gotten it freshly done. Listen, nothing wrong with Botox, but sometimes it makes you look funny when you're trying to emote, but your face is so frozen and so pulled and so snatched that you cannot emote. And y'all already know, I think Kay is absolutely gorgeous. In my opinion, Kay, Stacy, and Monique are the most gorgeous housewives of Potomac girlies. They are absolutely gorgeous. The other ladies are beautiful too. But to me, those three are absolutely stunning. Okay. So this is nothing against her looks, but she was frozen. She was, Stacy. So she comes in and she brings up the Chris Samuels rumors again. It's like, girl, have you even met Chris Samuels personally? Like, why are you so impacted by whether or not Stacy is dating Chris Samuels, whether or not she's talking crap about Chris Samuels, you know, we're running back to Chris Samuels with T. Like, who cares about Chris Samuels? Who is Chris Samuels in this world? Nobody. We do not care. And Mo is not even here. Monique's not even here for you to be white knighting for her. Like, so what is the point of this? And I'm so happy that Wendy called it out. She's like, girls, like, what are you doing? Like, who really cares about all this stuff? What is the point? Monique is not even here for y'all to be doing all this for her. This is weird. Like, how many times are we all going to gang up on Stacy? And I'm happy that Wendy came to Stacy's rescue, even though in this particular moment, she wasn't really feeling Stacy like that, because Stacy was up to her shady, lies and weirdness again, right? But she sees that right is right and wrong is wrong. And she's tired of the constant gang ups, as are we, So I was really happy to see that go down, right? And so she also brought up what Monique had told her over lunch. Monique at lunch had told Wendy that Cookie is a damn liar, a pathological liar, kind of like Stacy. Cough, cough. Cookie had made up a lie that she is the daughter of like some go-go singer or whatever. Like, not even like an A-lister. Like, she's like, listen, this random, like, I don't know, like obscure artist, that's my dad. Not even my cousin, but my dad. Like, that's some scary level lying. And it's not true. So somebody who's going to lie about that type of stuff, like, why do we believe about anything? Right. And again, who cares? Who cares? Stacy didn't run and tell anything about you, Kiarna. Why are you so triggered? You don't know. You don't even know Monique to be so triggered on her behalf. You don't even know Chris to be so triggered on his behalf. So what are we doing here? Like, what is this? Like, that is so freaking strange. Hey, Jaleesa, nice to see you. Hope you had a great weekend. And you too, Shar. Nice to see you too, boo. Happy Monday. Latasha says she wants a grill, a vacation grill. Wouldn't that be fun? I think they're fun and quirky. And I think it's so strange that Ashley, she's okay to have one, but Wale can't have one. That's weird. Ooh, no, there's a different one. There's a rapper named Wale. He also had that song called Flower Bomb, I think it is. I used to love that perfume, but now that perfume kind of gives me a headache. Womp, womp, womp. And exactly, Lexi, she packed them right on up. So I was really, really happy about that. And again, I'm really happy that Wendy stood up for her, because it was too much. It was too much. Like, leave it alone. And Kiarna's like, I would never trust you around my husband. Like, let's say Stacy did do this. What does Stacy running to Chris Samuels, who is nobody's husband right now, maybe they're friends, and saying, hey, like, your ex-wife said this. How does that translate into, I would never trust you around my husband? Because to me, I wouldn't trust you around my husband is you're going to be creeping around with my husband. But what has Stacy done to warrant that kind of comment? Like, as far as I'm aware, she hasn't been creeping around with married men. So, and Kiarna, you're not getting a husband anytime soon if you keep, wasting your time with Greg. So what do you, like, what is this, right? And Stacy's like, you don't even have a husband. You know what it was giving? It was giving Raquel Vanderpump Rules. Remember when Lala said that to her? And Lala was right. I wouldn't trust you around my man. She said, good thing you don't have a man to bring around. Gag it, gag it, gag it. All the girls were gooped and gagged by this comment, and Cookie was doing too damn much. Cookie wants that screen time so bad. Cookie, you're never going to get a flute, baby girl. Maybe you can continue to be friends of. You seem to be connected in some capacity, but you are not getting a flute, baby girl. So calm it down. She's like, get your finger out of my face. Stacey was all the way on the other side pointing at you. Like, they have to be careful about these people that they're bringing around, because some of these people, they're kind of worrisome. Remember the Sesame Street people that Ashley was bringing around that got like violent and whatnot? Like, I was scared that things would come down to that. Like, Kiarna had to calm down Cookie. They had to escort Cookie out. Like, they got to be careful with these people. Some of these people are so thirsty. They're willing to get violent for some screen time, and it's weird. It's very, very weird. Just saying. Getting upset with Botox is so camp. That's funny. Gwendolyn says, I'm reminded of the stepmother from A Cinderella Story. It's the Botox. I can't show no emotion for another hour. And I have I don't know if you guys, by the way, have seen the Selling Sunset, where Jason and Mary are crying because their dog died, which obviously is sad, but they're crying and they can't cry because of the Botox. We're like, our dog died. Our dog died. Like, it looked crazy. They looked absolutely insane. So they had to cover their faces and stuff because they couldn't move them. Lexi says, Cookie got it. Yeah, exactly. Like, she was doing too much. Cookie, you do not have a flute. Sit down. And then she called Stacy musty. I said, now, why are you calling Stacy musty? I do not believe that Stacy's musty. They need to stop doing this. Stacy is so stunning. She really, really is. She's so stunning. She's so elegant. Like, I'm sorry, but why are they saying these things about her? Like it's like they hate like this like beautiful like aura or energy or presence that she has. I think she's amongst the oldest of them all. And I'm sorry, she chews half of them up, most of them up, despite being the oldest one there. Is that what's so triggering to them? Like, I don't know, but it's so weird that they're trying to like say she's got this bad breath, she's so musty, like all these really, really ugly things about her. And I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. Just saying. Latasha says apparently he's the creator of go-go. Exactly, the go-go music. And he dated her mom. Listen, maybe he dated your mom, but he did not make you, girl. We do not make babies with every man we meet. Listen, maybe that's the thing. Maybe the mom was getting around and they don't know who the daddy is and she wants to assume it's this man, but like it's very, very strange behavior. That ain't your daddy. That ain't your daddy, girl. Calm it down. By the way, speaking of beautiful, I really do think Jazzy is amongst the most beautiful too. She's so beautiful to me. Hang on. Caramel complected. I want to get to your comment, but I want to show Jazzy here. Look at her face card. Oh my God. She's giving Barbie doll too. She's absolutely stunning. Caramel complected. Are you Québécois? Are you are you Québécois? Genre, bon matin. I love it. I don't like the gang up of Stacey. It's tired and bullying. Clock it. But Stacey lying unnecessarily is a turn off. Clock it. Tia switch up can be justified a little. Clock it. Listen, if you're Canadian, my fellow Canadian girly, I'm with you 100%. I agree. I agree with everything you said. The constant lying is weird. It's a put off. The ganging up is bullying and it's ugly. And Tia's switch up is a little bit justified because Stacey's lying on her too. She's taking turns lying on everybody. Hey, Kev, for Robin to not attend the party this episode with Giselle should seal her fate. Yes, to never return to RHOP. I agree. Robin, pack it up, girl. You are so goofy. You had an opportunity, and this was a really good scene. This could have been like her audition to come back on that show, And what did she do? She decided to fumble, stay on that couch or in bed or whatever it is that she does all day instead of showing up to work. Goofy. Snap says they're trying to dim Stacey's light. Exactly. She's just too beautiful. She's too stunning. All these things, and it triggers them so much. And mind you, these girls are beautiful too. So why do they do this to her in particular? Right? And exactly, D. It's really nasty. And I imagine that it makes Stacey feel so uncomfortable and self-conscious around other people. And so just like from a psychological perspective, like it's really, really like, in poor taste of them to be doing that. Like just really, really nasty. I don't like it at all. Look at Kiana and her Botox. She is so triggered. And it's like, you don't know Monique, Kiana. You don't know Chris. So why are you making this face over some stuff involving, two people you do not even know, boo? This is very, very strange. This is very, very strange behavior. I know you want to keep that flute for a third season, but it's not happening. You keep flopping. It's not happening. I wouldn't mind seeing her as a friend of you guys. I really, really wouldn't. But I do not want to see her coming back with a flute for the third time. It's me, UKP says, but honestly, Timo doesn't want to end up like Michael Darby. Exactly. I understand the wanting to disassociate from the cast and being a husband. Period. He's doing a good job. Let me put that picture back up of not engaging. You cannot engage with these women. I'm not saying Tia in particular. So far, she seems to be a lovely woman, right? But just engaging with women in reality TV in general is a very dangerous game for the husbands. You're seeing this play out on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Now they're accusing Bronwyn's husband of like running around making out with random women, farting, having a gout dick. You don't want to engage with these women. So Thiemo did a fantastic job ignoring all of this, right? And once again, thank you to Brittany for becoming a channel member. Did you guys answer East Awesome's poll? He wanted to know how y'all felt about Stacey versus Tia. Listen, for me and Stacey versus Tia, I think I am team Tia. Stacey's behavior was very strange. Tia very clearly asked them both to that dinner date. And then Stacey turned around and said that she only asked the husband, which implies that, Tia wanted the husband or something, which is weird. And then on top of that, they very clearly said he was flying out that day and wouldn't be back for a week after the dinner. And then she turns around and said he came back today. Team Tia. This was weirdo behavior. Stacey's versus Kiana. Definitely Stacey. Kiana has no reason to be beefing with Stacey like this. Angel versus the job. Their job. Angel, get the hell out of here. You do not bring a damn thing to the show. And you're so behind. Why are you still talking about some stuff from like 5 episodes ago? Leave us alone. Leave me alone. Go away from me with this, Apollo. Ashley says, happy Monday. I took my littles to volunteer. Oh, that's beautiful. On a food drive this weekend. Tis the season. Tis the season indeed, Ashley. Listen, I think it's so beautiful to impart the spirit of volunteering, especially during the holidays, on your children. Absolutely beautiful. I hope they had a great time. JJ says Giselle was better off with growing more businesses with Robin. Ashley's business with her husband didn't grow much. Exactly. Listen, no offense to my Australians, but the people aren't really eating kangaroo and emu like that here. Like Ashley, she just doesn't seem to have a business mind. Although I think she could have done fantastic being like, Pilates Raven from Love is Blind, like being a yoga teacher or something, maybe opening a studio, something like that with fitness, because she truly is a fitness girly, but this GNA stuff is just a mess. It really, really is. And I think that's all the comments. I got back to you guys' comments. So I'm really happy about that. Gwen says, my kids and I are all playing Stardew Valley while listening. We have the day off. I love that. And I hope the memorial went well as well, Gwen. Guys, I had a fantastic time chatting with you again and, recapping last night's episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac together. If you had fun too, please don't forget to go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. And I'll catch you again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to talk more about the day's hottest stories. And I'll be doing some stories about Todd and Candy. We have a death in the 90 Day Fiancé universe as well that I wanted to discuss. If y'all remember Elizabeth and Andre, well, Elizabeth's father has passed away, unfortunately. So we're going to be talking about that too. Okay. Take good care of yourselves, you guys, and I'll see you in my next videos. Bye.